It's time for Roll for Combat.
Look at that. We're live. Just like that. Poof. We're live.
Hello, everyone. And welcome to Roll for Combat Live. Today we've got Stephen Glicker, the publisher at Roll for Combat, Mark Seifter, director of game design at Roll for Combat, and Jessica Redekop, who claims to be the owner of the Roll for Combat YouTube channel.
No, but today
I don't know if I would frame that way.
Well, today she's a dandy lover because
there you go.
Yeah.
Because that is your claim to fame.
Oh, I see that it says that there. I wasn't able to get through the commercials to see what you were going to put on there until after I had finished trying to give the introductions.
There you go. So yes, everyone, are you happy or upset that your lifelong claim to fame? See, Linda Zayas Palmer has Leshies, but Jessica has the dandy.
I think she has elementals, like way more than the dandy.
So, yes, but people
internally.
Yes, internally. A lot. She has more than that, but everyone talks about dandy.
Externally to the fans, dandy is the thing that I am most not necessarily most well known for, but my contribution that people, I believe, enjoy the most. And so as the dandy author, that is like, oh, you made the archetype that I enjoy or whatever, right? But internally among like staff and other writers, it is the elementals. Those are my claim to fame.
What about your fairy dragons? You did fairy, right? I can't remember.
She did Leshy
dragons. Sorry.
But a different Jessica did the fairy dragons.
I knew it was a Jessica. Right. It was a 50-50 chance, and I failed.
we are the Winnipeg Jessicas, yeah.
The Winnipeg Jessicas? You're both from Winnipeg?
Yeah, we both live here.
You ever hang out with each other and confuse people?
No, because I'm a shut-in and I travel so much.
That's right. Now people already had said the stream is improved because Jess is on. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. Hey, and Jess.
People have questionable taste.
Well, we were just talking about how Jess joined the Knights of Discord, Knights of Last Calls Discord.
Discord. Yes.
Yes. And
because of the plan to get a room at Origins, and because I'm going to Origins, and because I wanted to run some games for the community there, because I hang out in Derek's stream chat sometimes.
And now you're going. Well, have you been to Origins before?
No, I've never been to Origins. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what to expect. So I haven't really made plans for the con other than like loose plans to hang out in the nightclub.
It's pretty fun. It's a gamers convention. There's basically just playing games as opposed to it's probably what Gen Con was like 25 years ago. That's probably where Origins is at. For better for worse though, Origins is actually pretty bad for retailers. Like I don't even have a booth there. I don't even bother. I don't know why people don't seem to want to spend money.
People just don't go to the showroom as much, and it's not as impressive. Or at least when I was there, like there wasn't that much going on in the showroom. There were a lot of games, although I hope that they've upgraded the event book since the last time I was there, because I remember it was brutally inefficient and would just repeat. If an event was offered at many different time slots, it would just put the whole event description over and over and over and over and over again for all of those time slots. And it just made it hard to find anything in the event book. But it also showed you they had a lot of events.
Yeah, they have a lot of events. They're just, I never sign up for official events because I don't know, I can never find them. It's difficult to sign up for anything officially. So we're just going to go NightCon. Night is Knights of Last Call, sponsored a room. Seems to have taken Derek 10 million hours to get this room, because that's all I ever hear from him whenever I talk to him is getting this damn room. And he finally got a room, and then we're going to sit in that room and play games, and that's it. So, there we go. But Columbus, well, the good news is I know where all the good food is. So, and so we'll be able to go eat lots of good food. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good area. There's a lot of food right nearby. The
They
convention
have that
center's not that
market
big.
that is near, like in Philadelphia had one that was near the convention center too.
Yeah, they have a market like Reading Market. It's not as good.
It's like the North Market or something like that.
I do go to that a lot. So
Okay.
that's like where we usually go for lunch, and then the restaurants are really good across the street. So you'll have a good time. You're with the coolest people, or at least you'll be with me. So I don't know how cool that is, but are you going with anyone? Or are you just going by yourself?
I'm sharing a room with another Paizo freelancer.
Oh, okay, cool. Right. So we got all Paizo represented. So there we go.
I mean, those are the people that I know.
Well, that's what I meant. It's like you're going with people you know. All right. Yeah, it's a nice con. It's nice. It's very relaxing. It gets hot, I will tell you. It's like it's like Gen Con hot, you know. So just be prepared for that. So and there's a lot of walking outside, unlike Gen Con where you could almost walk inside completely if you want.
I honestly prefer most of the time, if I can at Gen Con, to step outside and walk outside and then just re-enter the convention center, because the crowds are less bad if you're on the sidewalk outside.
You don't have to worry about there's no crowds at Origins, so that's
what
not
he means
a problem.
by 25 years ago. He means before the crowds.
That's what I meant. Yeah. It's like there are no crowds, so you don't really have to worry about that. It's so not crowded that I have many times gone across the street to a restaurant and gotten a table and sat down, which is impossible at Gen Con without a reservation. So there we go. Anyhow, and it's called NightCon. It's the week that Derek's not on the stream, and he's going to be like, "Oh, why are you talking about this? And I'm not here." So,
well, what does he have that made him not be able to get
I don't know. He just said he couldn't make it.
Appointment?
He's too busy. He's busy, man. He's a busy boy.
Okay.
Busy boy. So I was thinking about this. Okay, this week's topic. So right now, indie games have been very popular, as we know. And we also, not just indie games, but lightweight RPGs, TTRPGs, so much so that...
And also short and one-shot ones, right?
Short and
like
one-shots.
You're talking about, like, Jubenchas are a one-shot experience, and they're wildly popular, especially in China. There's just a lot of people who have less time now than they did before.
Well, it's not only that people have way less time. And this is becoming so prevalent that at Gamma, many people were talking about this, and it's one of the reasons why Paizo is deciding to do their new 13 Omens, which will probably be something similar to these, more of a lighter weight TTRPG. There's no real details out, but I do know that much. And I think the combination of just today's culture and today's kids and the TikTok generation, where it's like it's like, oh, you're making fun of them. Like, no, like all the data supports this on how long people are engaged with YouTube videos, how long people are engaged with Netflix. Like, just between the fact that there's just so many options and things. So you are competing against everything. Like, everyone is competing against everything all the time, everywhere in the world. So it's very hard to hold people's attention, as opposed to the old days where you would play a D&D or Pathfinder campaign. I mean, think about it. It's like for years, they went from, okay, you're going to play a campaign from levels 1 to 20. And then it went from, okay, now it's 1 to 10. And now it's like, they're just getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And even D&D themselves used to put out entire campaign books. And all their books now are just basically mini adventures in an area. Like, this is just the way things have been changing. Now, with that in mind, I was thinking about this so I go to my weekly board game night every Tuesday. And one of the things that we do is every week, it's kind of amazing. It's like, I never play the same board game ever. Like, every week we play a new board game, every single week. I can't even think. It's been going for a year, and I've never played the same board game more than once in 1 year. Every week. Do you have
someone in your friend group who backs like a lot of board game Kickstarters, and so you just have like a massive wall of board games that you have to get through?
It's in a store. It's in a store, and so we have access to anything. And there's like 4 or 5 guys who bring tons of board games. I also bring a lot of games, and it just everyone seems to have different tastes. So like, you know, I bring like ARCs. I bring games that no one else seems to have them. So everyone brings different games. And so I've never played the same game twice. And it's okay because someone always teaches it. You know, it's usually okay. We go, we learn a game, we play it. But the thing is that I've had the opportunity to play the same board game twice, but I'd rather play something new than play the same game. It just has not happened. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, are TTRPGs becoming the new board games? Is that people would just rather try out a new TTRPG, and especially if only one person buys it. That's the other thing with board games. With board games, one person bought the game and everyone can play it. The big issue with TTRPGs, which is really becoming a bigger issue, is like the old model was everyone has to buy the game, everyone has to buy the player's handbook, everyone has to play it and buy it to play it. But the new model is that like you can buy the Shadowdark starter set or the guides for $5. You know, a lot of people come out with these starter guides where you can buy them for either nothing or you can buy them for $5 and then hand them out to all your players. So I think that people are just more interested in trying out lots of newer TTRPGs as either one-shots or quick adventures and move on than locking themselves into one game, especially if they're like, okay, guys, we're going to sit down and we're going to play a single game for the next 5 years, you know, every week for the next 5 years. Are you okay with that? Like, no one's okay with that. The only reason I get away with it is because I played with the same guys for 35 years and we know what we're in for. But I could never do that with anyone. I can't even get these guys. I want to play legacy games. So we're talking about a board game that takes like 10 sessions or something. I can't even get them to, you know, I'm like, they're like, nah, I can't do 10 sessions. That's too many. I'm like, they won't even do like 3 arcs. There's a mini campaign. There's 3 sessions. They're like, nah, it's too many sessions. 3. I was like, I can't even get people to do 3 sessions, let alone.
Novelty is powerful.
I know.
We don't have Derek on the show today.
Yes.
So I'm going to be the person who does something for him slightly. I'm going to say that, Stephen, a few of the things you were saying are exactly right. So I'll do it a little less like Derek by agreeing that some of it is right. But your main thesis, I think, is just totally wrong.
Which is what?
Your main thesis that everyone just wants to try lots of different tabletop RPGs. It's just, no, we just want to try a new one each time. That is not where the TTRPG market is. Most people do not like to have in TTRPGs, not at where board games are. They do not want to have to learn a new rules set. They do not want to have to play a new system. But you are right that they like shorter sessions, fewer sessions, and not long campaigns.
I disagree. I have no problem learning new. I like learning new games.
Stephen, you're not wrong about you. You're not wrong about me.
Right.
I am somewhat. We are in the minority. And
We're
there's
outliers.
all
But why are
all
board
sorts
gamers?
of surveys out there about what the market looks like, and most people do not want to learn a new game. That's
let
why.
Let me rephrase this. At the board game thing that I've been going to for a year, I'm not the only one who learns a new board game every week. Everyone there is learning new board games.
The board game community has gotten to that point, right? Or in fact, it's always kind of been more in that point, the tabletop RPGs. Like, it's not like if you're in a board game club that you're like, well, we only like to play Agricola, and that's the only one we play. There's like no board game club that has ever done that.
Yeah, so a board game like a Juventia or another game that has maybe a lighter system but is definitely designed for a very curated one-time experience is going to be a product that has better onboarding. The instruction manual or whatever for a board game, like there is some effort that you have to put in to learn a board game, but learning a board game will be less of a lift for most board games because most board games only expect to offer like a 1 or 2 hour experience, and for that experience to be very constrained to just doing what the board game offers, whereas there is kind of a market expectation from a TTRPG TTRPG, that even if the book is very specific, you should still be able to get all kinds of mileage out of it, and it needs to cover all kinds of situations. So learning an RPG will always be a heavier lift than learning a board game. I shouldn't say always. There's obviously exceptions to that. We're not comparing, like, I don't know, lightest. We're not comparing Ferb House to Twilight Imperium.
No, I get it. It's not always, but generally, yes. Like, you could sit down and learn a board game in a half an hour to an hour, and then literally start playing it.
Yes.
Exactly.
And another important thing to note, and the thumbnail and the title of this video make it very clear that Stephen is talking about D&D. Another important thing to note is that there is a bifurcation in the base of tabletop RPG players. Just like Stephen said, there's us and there's another set of people. Basically, there are people who only play one tabletop RPG, and they are by far the majority. And the one that they play is usually D&D, also by far a majority. And then there are people who play at least two. And once they play at least two, they probably will play way more than two, or be willing to play way more than two. And that's just kind of how it splits. But the number who only want to play one is very, very, very high. So anyone who's watching this show who plays at least two, you are in the plays at least two group. And that makes you not in the plays one, which is mostly D&D. So if this was like about how people don't want to play just one long campaign, it's something that isn't D&D, but they want to switch to a third, fourth, fifth, sixth game from their second game, that is something that I don't have the data, so I don't know if the people who play multiple games are now playing even more games or not. But it is definitely true that people who are staying with their game system still want to play short games. They want to do short sessions. In Pathfinder, they've shortened the length of the standard society scenario by a little bit as well.
So I asked Stephen earlier, before he said that he plays board games in like a board game shop kind of situation. I asked if you have like that friend who keeps backing board game Kickstarters, and so there's just like this massive wall of games that, you know, somebody bought, and so now you have to play it, and so you're just like going through the stack of the board game Kickstarters as they fulfill. I have that friend for TTRPGs. And so my Friday game group is actually, we have a like spin that wheel, and on the wheel is every TTRPG Kickstarter that he has funded that he hasn't played yet. And we spin the wheel and then play whatever game that wheel lands on for like 2 to 3 sessions until like we get a handle on what's going on with it. And then we spin the wheel again and play another game. And this is definitely an outlier experience. I do not think that this is normally what people do. I do this because the opportunity for me to play a bunch of different games is very beneficial to me. But my like non-game designer friends do this because they just want to play with us, because I have like 100 games that I've never played and I'd like to play them one day. For some of them, it's I want to play these games until I figure out which one of them I would like to do a long campaign in.
That puts you on the tiny tail of the bell curve, even within the group of people who play 2 or more games.
So what is the reason then that people are gravitating to these indie RPGs? Because to be honest, D&D is become basically at the lowest level. If you want to play it like an indie, yeah, it's a complex game at the highest level, but they've made it so simple, especially with the starter set, that you can just literally jump in and start playing, almost like a board game. Which they did
make
on purpose.
It easy in D&D for players to play. It's not easy for the GM to run necessarily, but if a player just wants to hop in and grab a fighter and play it, they've made that easy to do, I think, to their benefit, as they know that they're the system that is played by the vast majority of one game players. And some of those people are more casual about RPGs. They're more casual about learning rules. And so since they are a rules heavy game, they never were going to become a rules light game that wouldn't have felt like D&D. They wanted it to be a easy to get into for the new player rules heavy game. In terms of indie RPGs, I would say that once you have people who are playing 2 or more games, and once you are willing to say that some of the RPGs that were on that thumbnail are indie, which I think some of our chatters, even before the episode started, were debating, are those really that indie? And then we had a whole episode with Derek on.
Well,
we
there's
spent
indie,
an hour
and then
debating what was considered to be indie or not, and I'm not going to relitigate that. I'm just going to say that many people out there have different definitions and might not agree that something is indie or not. But for tabletop RPGs, Steven and I, if I recall in that episode, were fairly confident that like almost nothing other than D&D can really be said to be on the same tier as D&D. And so almost everything else kind of is
people call Pathfinder
indie by
indie.
comparison. But some people say that it's, you're not indie if you're like as big as Daggerheart and Darrington Press, for example.
Well, D&D is turning into the gateway drug, which is D&D is, like the thing that people play or know about or have heard about. And it seems like, I don't know, like everyone I know, but I'm old, we all played D&D first. But here's this thing that no one ever remembers that I've mentioned on this show quite a bit. Pick up a Dragon magazine from the 80s, okay? D&D was not the king, okay? In fact, D&D was one of many. Okay, there was hundreds of DTRPGs. Everyone was playing Traveler and playing James Bond and playing Ice, Lord of the Rings, and playing Bushido and playing Jorn. There was a ton of weird TTRPGs. And we were playing them all. Like, D&D was just one of many. Like, this indie revolution, it only seems like it's new because all those games disappeared. And the only one that survived the apocalypse really was in its, yes, Tunnels and Trolls and Traveler and those are still around, but not really. Those are so small, I would consider those indie at this point. It's like D&D still stayed around. And I'd actually even say if it wasn't for the cartoon and just, them continuously, and people like Atticusson, keeping D&D alive and Gen Con alive, it's amazing. I always say that D&D should have died 100 times, and yet it's still, that's how powerful it is that it just won't die no matter what.
The OGL did its job.
Yeah.
The OGL created the market situation in the 3rd edition era for the D20 boom, which is what changed the culture where I'm playing D&D, but I'm also playing another game that isn't D&D, but is still basically the same game as D&D. Right. And the landscape pre-OGL and post-OGL is completely different.
Yeah, I remember we've talked about this before, Steven. There's the history of D&D, if you go into some of the back details, shows that it survived a near-death or should-have-been death experience way more than you would expect almost any brand to do, such that you could call it, if you were going to be like what is a superhero who is not like Superman where he can just shrug off bullets, but just barely can't die. But is beat the crap out of it and just comes back as strong as ever afterwards. I don't know a good analogy. I remember before someone was saying that a cockroach sounds way too negative for what you're trying to talk about, but it is true that it's a term for tenacity and just being you just can't kill it.
It's Wolverine,
right? Because of his regeneration.
Yes.
So D&D is the Wolverine of tabletop RPGs, and really not just of TTRPGs, of brands in general. D&D is the Wolverine because his power is regeneration, so he is the cockroach superhero, but nobody associates him with that superpower. They all associate him with his adamantine claws and so on and so forth. And so people think that he has a completely different superpower, but they do not observe what the actual power is. The fact that he has the regeneration is what allows him to have the adamantine claws and what allows him to do whatever other things they perceive on the surface as being his power. So that the analogy is that D&D is like Wolverine because nobody really knows exactly why certain moves that were made by D&D were as successful as they were. Sometimes including the people who were making the moves. I heard that when 5e was first really, really successful when they had like downsized to an incredibly small department, didn't have that many people on it. They were kind of surprised and didn't know it was going to be that successful and didn't know exactly why. Just like with Wolverine, where people don't remember what his power actually is.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the Awful Green Things from Outer Space. I don't know why someone mentioned that, but that is a great game. When I great game, I mean terrible game. It is so good and so terrible at the same time. I actually have the original from the 70s and the reprint. If you guys ever played the Awful Green Things from Outer Space, it's one of those infamous games. It's so impossibly hard because everything is random. So the bad guys are the green things that are invading the ship, and then the good guys have a very limited number of weapons. And you completely randomly choose what the weapon does. And then once you choose, that's what the weapon does for the rest of the game. And some of them kill the green things, and some of them grow them, some of them make them more powerful. So you can play a game where you do nothing but grab weapons and make the green thing stronger and then lose. Or you can play where everything destroys them. So it is the most random game in the entire world, by the way. Anyhow, back to
there
what
you go.
It's
people in chat are saying that what's causing these long campaigns to die off is people's schedules are getting harder to match.
Well, it's the things I noticed, at least from my friend groups, is that we used to have this joke in the Magic the Gathering tournament circuit, is that you could always tell when one of the champions or one of the top players had a girlfriend because then they weren't showing up. Like, so basically, if they had a girlfriend or a life, they stopped playing. They stopped competing competitively because they had to travel so much and everything. And I think it's the same thing. It's like in high school, you have nothing but time, so you play D&D. In college, you have nothing but time, so you play D&D. And then you get a life, and then you have no time to play D&D. Well, now my kids are in college. All my friends' kids are in college. We got nothing but time. We're playing it's not D&D. We're playing Pathfinder. But we play all the time now. It's like we got all the time in the world. Well, we used to always joke. Oh my God, we used to joke in the 90s. We're like, oh, we're gonna be in the retirement home and playing D&D, and now we're like, we're getting there. We're getting close. We're getting closer to that retirement home. It's just playing all the time. Yeah. But I can't retire, Mark. You know, half my friends are retired. And I said, I'm sitting here editing Eldamon, editing Shadowdark.
Even you're the kind of person who I think just would never want to retire. It's like my dad. He's just not going to retire. And he doesn't care whether he's making money or not because he's helping people.
Well, I just like it, because, you make money. But it's so addictive just making products that people are using. It's like if I was, so my friend, he's a lawyer, Seth, the guy in my campaign, because he's retiring. He's in I think 3 years he can retire, and he literally is done. But I'm like, why is it so bad? And he told me, he's like, because I don't do anything. He's like, his whole, like, he has no fulfillment and nothing out of his job. So he literally just goes in, works, get his paycheck, get his health insurance, and leaves. And that's it. And I'll do that for the next 3 years. So if I was in that case, I would probably retire too. But we do it because it's fun, and we're making products, and the people are playing them, and we're adding to the community.
It's bringing joy to people's lives and happiness to people who sometimes are saying, they were very stressed out, and this is like something that can help them.
And we give Jess a job. That's the other thing. Get something for Jess to do. If we don't do this, then what's she gonna do? Be a dandy lover all of her life? Come on. So you're making products like what? Well, if you go to the Battlezoo,
that's what TJ Duck asked in the chat.
If you go to battlezoo.com, everything there is what we make. See all these books behind me? See these books, and these books.
The one with the red
Those
on
are
the top.
all of our books. So we do a lot. And Jess has written many of these. So
I've contributed to Leshy Dragons, and I also wrote the Swarm Blood for Living Legends, and I wrote the mechanical part of the Figments for, what was that one called?
For Figments were in the Year
Titans.
of Titans.
Year of Titans.
Yes,
Year of Titans.
Yes.
And how can people get Year of Legends and Year of Titans these days, Stephen?
Battlezoo.com.
Battlezoo.com. And we still have Eldamon Legends open for limited time. Late backers can back that. And we're going to have the very first ever. I actually am surprised how quickly we hit that stretch goal. We actually hit it really quick. I'm going to make a website and people can make their own Eldamons, and then they'll be able to submit them.
And one lucky winner is going to have their Eldamon turn into a family, which means you get 3 pieces of art. It's going to be in a separate PDF for the winner, but you're going to be with Dungeon Dad, so you'll be in good company.
At least Dungeon Dad. Maybe we're going to get a couple more people, though, like celebrities. Would you like to make?
I was going to say that in the update, but you told me don't promise anything except for the minimum.
We can, because
so
we didn't commit.
The minimum.
We didn't commit to who. Jess, would you like to make an Eldamon for us? And
Steven, I don't know if you've somehow arrived at this erroneous conclusion. I don't know where you got this impression from, but I'm not a celebrity.
Let me
rephrase. One of our regular authors. Steven.
Hey everyone,
there's a difference
that's
between
it. I'm making a
the
poll.
Celebrities.
Okay, I'm making a poll. Okay, here comes the poll. Okay, is Jess a celebrity? Yes, no, and then there'll be a funny third one.
The funny third one is, can't you tell the difference between the APG archetypes? Celebrity is several pages before dandy.
There we go.
That's it. I know celebrity and dandy have gotten confused for each other before because they do have somewhat similar themes, but they are not.
They have somewhat similar themes, and there are a couple of feats that I did for the archetype expansion at Firebrands that are feats for both dandy and celebrity to choose from. But they are different archetypes.
Well, a lot of people are like, who is Jess?
A surprising number of people don't know who you are, even though you're literally right here, right now.
I'm right here.
I'm right here.
This is Jess.
That's Jess. Hi.
Known celebrity Jessica Redekop right here.
There you go. I mean, according to this stream that is watching you right now, over half of people think that you are a celebrity.
61%.
Is that getting more votes than Who is Jess?
Yes.
Who
is Jess and no combined. We're getting comments that say Jess deserves celebrity. Unlike a lot of celebrities, you earned your position.
Here we go. Jess, owner of Roll for Combat. Jess
That's true.
Is the best. I know Jess from
also,
the RFC live
at least one
stream.
person has explained their vote for Who is Jess as the fact that they only know you from doing these streams, and we have not described what you do well enough at the start of the stream, so they still don't feel like they have any clue who you are, other than some random person who is just in a box on their YouTube right now.
And that's all you need to know about me.
That's all you need to know. This is all you need to know about Jess. I'm going to tell you. She is from Canada. She loves Disney World. And
and long Furbies.
She likes Furbies, but only long Furbies. And
a short Furby is also okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So you like Furbies of all lengths?
I didn't say that. I said long Furby and short Furby.
Wait, so medium Furbies, you're like, if you're long, you're cool. If you're short, you're cool. You're cool. Normal, not in my book.
It's the opposite of the Goldilocks principle.
Right.
She's getting her Furby. Right. It's just wrong.
She's getting her long Furby. There it is. What's a Bartholomew, right?
Yes, that's right.
Bartholomew, the long Furby.
That's right.
See, we're all learning. This stream will be why are people doing short TTRPGs? And let's meet Jess. That's this week's survey. I mean,
Disney is okay. I'm not like a specific to Disney person. I just enjoy highly themed experiences and roller coasters. And so Disney is the overlap between those two things, where I also get to like hyperfixate on like, and what are they doing for their crowd management techniques these days?
There we go. Jess is so smart.
And be a nerd about Fast Pass.
She gives. Oh man, I don't even want to get into it. I am so mad. I cannot go to Disney. I'm actually that's popping up in my feeds. It's like people are really, really getting mad. Disney's getting it's out of control. Like it was when they started to raise the prices of the park, that was one thing.
Yeah.
And then they started to make Fast Pass and you had to pay for it. And then they had all the different levels. It's like, okay, you've officially gone too far. Like and the cost of food and everything is double to triple what inflation is. It's out of control. Like it's costing.
But that's where they're
thousands.
getting all of their money now, not from the movies or anything. They realize that the parks are an experience that many people were able to afford in their childhoods, and now if they jack the prices up, the nostalgia is going to try to bring people back.
No, always was. Over almost 70% of their money comes from the parks. It always has been that. It goes between 60 and 70% has always been the parks. The monies from the movies are less than 10%. Even they're high, even when they're making billions, 10%. That's it. And most parks are where they make all their money.
So there's a variety of additional Jess comments in the chat, including wondering whether she's a killer achiever, socializer, or explorer, and that her fame is only held back by the YouTube live chat character limit. But there was a super chat from Waters Lead for $2. Real quick recap of the last Kickstarter stretch goal. So the last Kickstarter stretch goal, which we actually hit it with ease, even though there wasn't very long to get it, and it was a decent amount of money in it, is that we are going to run a contest, not for a while, because we want the contest to allow people to use the new powers that are in Eldamon Legends. Which means that we need to wait until at least like a lot of the months of Eldamon Legends have passed, so that you have a bunch of elements that have the new powers. Otherwise, you're gonna only be able to write with the old powers. Right. And I might have to go in there like much later and tinker with what's in it if I think it would be cool to use the new ones.
Mark's like, we'll do it later because I don't want to do work. Got it.
I mean, that's not the real reason why.
But
since it's only one person's. It's not that big of a deal whether I do it now or later, because I mean we're getting 100 and however many. The main thing is I don't want people to have a situation where, let's say we did it and only fire and water have been released with Legends, and we specifically told people they're not allowed to do water in the contest as the only element. They can't because Dungeon Dad did water and our other adventure did water, so water just has way more than everyone else already. So then how many of the submissions are all going to be fire because they get to use the new goodies, and we won't see a good mix? So I figure we're going to wait. We don't have to wait for all of them. We can wait for just some of them, enough of them that will have a good number of elements. The contest winner, along with Dungeon Dad and possibly some other celebrities, will have their Eldamon added to a special PDF for the backers that is not going to be any of the usual monthly releases. It won't have Legends. It won't have the other things. It's just the Eldamon, a special Eldamon expansion.
It's a special one. And by the way, Jess never answered the question. You know, you could do a Furby Eldamon.
I already did Long Furby for Pathfinder.
Okay, it doesn't have to be Furby. I'll do it. Okay. I'll write a creature. Oh, you all heard it. Yay.
I love writing creatures. Creatures are my favorite thing.
Okay, there you go.
Well, an Eldamon stat block is not exactly the same as a creature, but it's actually easier in a lot of ways.
You can work with Mark, though.
Yeah. Writing with Mark is also one of my favorite things to write.
There you go. And it's literally it's just a creature, and you get to come up with the cool design. That's like the fun part is coming up with the design of the Eldamon.
The pet and the battle and the evolved form.
Yeah. Well, first you have to choose the element. That's the one thing. And then we'll go from there. So also, and then we'll get back to the topic. We are finally on Humble Bundle. I've been trying to get on Humble Bundle forever, and they approached me and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're big fans." I was like, "Huh, I probably should have reached out to you earlier." So we are on Humble Bundle for the first time ever. I
didn't realize they were big fans of Battlezoo and Roll for Combat, but that's cool. I looked at it and we're actually considering that it is not in It is
Only
not in the
me.
top game section, which sometimes tabletop things get into. Like the Avatar Legends one was in the top game section instead of the book section. It's in the book section. And it's a new publisher that hasn't been in Humble Bundle before, but we're still doing pretty well.
Yeah. They're advertising it.
We have over 500 bundles sold. And this is what I'm going to say to you if you're watching this. Do you play 5e? Even if the answer is no, you still might want to get the $5 tier of this 5e bundle because the amount of things Steven put in it is like almost irresponsibly high. But not quite irresponsibly high. But honestly, it's for charity
Classic
anyway.
Glicker.
It's for charity anyway. You can change the sliders.
It's one for me.
Give it all to as much as possible if you want to Canine Companions, which gets dogs for people who need service dogs, so they don't have to pay for the service dog or the companion. But for $5, you legitimately get the 5e Jewel of the Indigo Isles, which is like somewhere around 600-page adventure. All of the art assets from that, which is more art than should be in a 600-page adventure because every NPC has art, except some of them have 2 pieces of art of the same NPC. It has the world guide for Indigo Isles also in that tier. And it also had something else, but my mind like reels with how much is in the $5 tier. So you may want to consider it even if you don't play 5e. I saw one guy who plays Pathfinder who was like, I'm still going to get this for $5 because I can read the adventure synopsis and decide if I want to buy the hardcover that's at my local bookstore of the Pathfinder one because 5 is just so good. And in the other tiers, if you actually play 5e, are excellent too.
By the way, someone said, what is the Stephen Glicker Eldamon? All of them. They're all mine.
I think also that Stephen Glicker is not only is he all the Eldamon, but he's also like he has some similarities to Professor Portobello himself, our sort of MC for the Eldamon Legends.
That's right.
Just like Portobello gives me Stephen vibes because he's so excited about everything. He's kind of a bit of a showman, and he's gonna tell you about the Eldamon. And he's also like, he's done like everything. Like you'll see like a legend that's about like, yeah, and we're gonna talk about like this crazy racing thing that these Eldamon are doing. He's like, and I participated in it one year.
Yeah. What do you want? I lived a crazy life. Oh well. You gotta live, man. You gotta. I feel like I've been not doing that too much lately. Now I just sit around doing nothing. So.
Oh, Kevin's lore, you're absolutely right about the fact that the first tier of the Humble Bundle is worth it for people who don't play even either of the Pathfinder or D&D, just for the VTT tokens. If you play something else at VTT and you want to get just a ridiculous number of tokens, there are a lot of things that are in there.
Yeah,
they're worth the price, especially since it's donated to charity. So I suggest checking it out.
It's actually too low. What is fascinating is guess the number of people who've done the middle tier.
I'm gonna say of the 540 or however many that like 10 did the middle tier.
Jess, what is your guess? You can do it. So there's a $5 tier, $15 tier, or $25 tier. But how many people do you think have done the $15 tier?
None.
One.
Oh, Jess was closest.
Jess. You were close. It was none until yesterday. It's it's strange. No one does the middle tiers.
No, I was looking at this Kickstarter, the Humble Bundle, and I do a lot of Humble Bundles as well. I like just donating to charity, getting some stuff. Tier. I always change the slider to give more and more to charity.
Everyone always does the top tier. It's like sort of like the thing.
I almost never do the middle tier. I do the bottom tier a lot. I do the top tier a lot, but I almost never do the middle tier. And for this particular one, in particular, I would never do the middle tier because the bottom tier is outrageous. But if I wanted the things that were in the middle tier, it's worth it to me to also go to the top tier because you get some really good things in the top tier.
There were some things though, if you didn't want, like that's why the middle tier exists. Is just like there's some things like animations and stuff and maps. Like you might not want those.
And if you didn't want classic creatures because you weren't in the mood for more ancestries, for example.
There's reasons. So
No, I don't think that the middle tier has no sense to it. I see that there is a potential market of one person out of 500, but there is a logic to it. It's just that me as a consumer, depending on what I was thinking about the product, I would almost always buy that $5 tier because it's so good that it triggers my like. What am I doing not buying this? But then if I was into it, I would go for the 25. And I think a lot of people are like
this
that.
This one is for 5e, and if this one does well, we'll probably do the exact same one for Pathfinder.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Steven. Even though normally I know that the common wisdom on Humble Bundle is if you're not like the main company that you want it, and you have multiple, you want to do the 5e one. That's true on all those bundles. I know they're more excited about that. I am making a challenge to our Pathfinder fans if we do a second bundle. I think that the Pathfinder one could potentially outsell the 5e one.
Well, they didn't want us to do it because Paizo's doing one now, so they didn't want us to do it.
Yes, they're literally doing one at the same time. And, I get it.
And they wanted, they said I can do either one. So it was either I could do it now.
Well, there you go. But if we do the Pathfinder one, I legitimately think that it could outsell the 5e one. Just specifically because of the fact that the deal is so outrageous. And it's one of the things that's outrageous about it is that it has assets for Foundry, and the Pathfinder community is more in Foundry. Might want to use those tokens just for their own game. And I think that if I advertised the deal to the Pathfinder community, that there are a lot of people who know who we are and respect us, but do not want to pay for our products at like anywhere near the full price. That would be like, oh, I've been hearing about that a lot. And it's a good adventure. It's a steal at $5, and I think it would get purchased by a lot of people.
Sweet Treat said, "Isn't it a marketing thing? You're wired not to pick up the middle tiers." Yes, actually. So I'm going to tell you a secret. The whole reason why middle tiers exist and middles for many things exist is to give a little distance between the top and the bottom, so that you feel like you're getting a better bargain. That's actually the real reason why they do them. So.
The only reason that Kickstarters can have those outrageous $500 tiers is because there are other middle tiers in between the lowest tier and that. It's extremely important to have those middle options.
Well, to be fair with the Kickstarters, though, some of those middle tiers are like very popular tiers.
Yeah, no,
they can be.
They can be. It depends how they do it. They can do it.
No, you're right. Some Kickstarters are able to get a lot of people to do that ridiculous, outrageous 500. But at least the ones that we've done, our middle ones are very popular.
Agile Monks, happy to see Jess. There we go. You got a fan.
Says love supporting RFC Steven Mark with a Agile Monk member chat.
Thank you, Agile Monk. The I don't know what he is. He's like Mr. I'm Mr. in every TTRPG discussion.
Yeah, he's like a patron saint of TTRPG YouTube or something like that.
Well, you're an RFC. I mean, yeah, you're an RFC every night. Not RFC, we're RFC. Knights of Last Call, KOLC. A lot of C's in there. Yeah, you're a Knights of Last Call all the time. So
I'm there sometimes. It depends on what exactly it is that I'm up to when the stream is happening. If a stream is happening
like at 4 a.m, and then Jess is there. I'm like, Jess, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm in a different time zone.
Well, you're in a time zone, but it's not that far. It's not like you're in like Russia or something.
It's an hour. It's an hour different.
You're just now.
I've explained this. My bedtime is 2 a.m.
Okay. That's my bedtime.
That's my bedtime, but I'm in a different time zone. So So my bedtime is 2 a.m. Central Time, which is 3 a.m. Eastern.
Okay. Well, my bedtime's 2.
Yeah.
Or 3.
My bedtime's also 2. I guess we go to bed at similar times.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to get up early, so you might as well stay up late. I prefer staying up late than getting up early.
I get better things done in the evening, and in fact have more trouble getting to sleep, if anything, whereas I also have trouble waking up and do not do well in the mornings.
My problem is I go and then I read. So sometimes I don't even go to sleep till 3. I'm like,
oh, that could happen to me too.
Yeah. Well, I'm up to the final book in the Robin Hobb series, the book 16, and I'm at the very end, and oh my God, they're all connected. It's one series, and that last book, damn, I've never seen someone tie 15 books and different stories and different characters together so well as she is. She managed to get everyone in there and everything, and it is a brutal ending. I will say that. I say female fantasy authors are so mean to their characters. They're mean. They're the meanest authors.
That's such a generalization, Stephen.
I stand by it, because if you read anything by Robin Hobb just tortures her characters, tortures them.
Is Robin Hobb meaner to her characters than, I don't know, George R.R. Martin?
It's different. Maybe. Okay. Actually, I would say yeah.
As opposed because Robin Hobb tortures them but leaves them alive, whereas George R.R. Martin lets them die mercifully.
No, that's the thing. Right. Is that it's not only that, you've been reading about this one guy getting tortured, and she goes into extreme detail of how these people die or get tortured over 16 books. It's not like, oh, they get tortured and then they die swiftly. It's like, no. They get tortured over 60 years of their lives, over 15 books, in excruciating ways. And I'm just like,
okay.
And then they get
stopped reading after the first few books, because I don't want to hear about people being tortured for 60 years.
It's brutal. It's great. I love it. Oh, it's so great. It's pretty gruesome, I'll tell you that. Anyhow.
There you go, Stephen.
There you go.
I do wonder how much this is like the statistic that women who talk 30% of the time are perceived as talking 70% of the time. I do wonder about how true this thing is. However, I will say anecdotally that character backstories for TTRPG characters written by women tend to be this way as well, more so than character backstories written by men for their characters.
Also, I'm not the one who said this. Stephen King said it, actually, and because Stephen King reviews books for the New York Times, and he did a thorough review of the Harry Potter series, and he brought it up too, is that, and Stephen King is pretty brutal to his characters. I forgot, I gotta look it up, but he did bring it up too, is that, I don't know if maybe it's not brutality, or maybe they're just way more descriptive in their brutality. And if you look at Deadwood, one of the most brutal shows I've ever seen, the entire staff was female writers. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that show is disgustingly brutal. The first season is unbelievably horrible. all the characters. Anyhow. And they got a lot of flack for that. I remember when it came out, they got all this flack, and then they found that it was all female writers, and then suddenly the flack disappeared, because they were like, wait, we can't turn this into a controversy. Because they were like, wait, we can have a controversy if men are torturing people, but if the women are torturing them, then it's not a thing. It's so stupid. Anyhow, back to the main chat. Up. We have the super chat. My experience, players want resolution much sooner, smaller arcs, 5 to 7 sessions. An average work well. No one wants to wait 2 years to resolve a campaign. Similar TV seasons like Stranger Things. You're right. But that is what I call bad writing. Okay. That is.
You call that bad writing to be smaller arcs?
No, I call that bad writing for people who don't have smaller arcs.
Oh, okay. For people who make you wait 2 years for a payoff.
No, so Jewel the Indigo Isle, our own. Every chapter has an arc, and there is a resolution. So they're constantly moving and constantly getting resolution. And they just hit level 4, and they started to explore the dungeon of level 4. And John's like, wow. He actually said this at the end. It's like, we have done so much. Yeah, it's like it's like we're level 4. It's like, it feels like 10 levels already. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like you need to move, resolve things, and just keep going. And that's the problem.
I feel like you need kind of a pyramid structure if you want to do a very long campaign.
Yes.
Where at the top you have your overall, like, this is what's happening, like, big picture. And then branching off of that is related other things that can be wrapped up faster. And then branching off of that is related smaller things that can be wrapped up even faster. And they're all connected. They all flow back up to the one main thing in the same way that, like, a pyramid scheme is going to all flow back up to the one person at the top of the pyramid.
Yes.
But
that is one of the structures that works well for a long campaign. Another one is similar but different, where instead of everything flowing back to one big thing at the top, you have you do have your big thing, but you have certain others that aren't really connected. They're kind of like the B plots. So like, and they may be character centric, but not actually related to resolving the main thing. Like if you're like, yes, well, you know, this person is like the exiled prince of the Elven kingdom, and his family is going to become a problem like at some point during the campaign. But they're not really like the BBEG or any of the things we're doing to resolve that. But it's still going to be something that goes on.
I don't know. So with me, I say the best way to do it, you do a nested 3-arc structure. So if you had a 10-level campaign, you do a 3-arc structure inside of a 3-arc structure inside of a 3-arc structure. So you have every level has a 3-arc structure. Every 3 levels is one book that's a 3-arc structure, and then every book is a 3-arc structure between the books of a trilogy. And that's the high level way you do that. Now. Easier said than done. We're making it sound like, oh, you just do that. I'm like, no, it's incredibly hard. But I mean, Jess, you're the one who told me how hard connecting Joel would be, and boy, you were right. Yeah, that was a goddamn nightmare, but it worked.
I've never been the one orchestrating an adventure path. I had only at that time written one adventure path volume, and yes, it was painfully obvious to me what was going to happen to you.
We all warned you, Stephen, and it was true. But you know what? It was a success.
It was a success.
I won't just say Stephen succeeded.
I have to rewrite the first adventures twice.
Yeah, Stephen and I and the author succeeded, and it did take a major team effort to do so. But
Mark too.
And it
Mark
came
also
out.
Rewrote a lot. We rewrote just connective tissue between.
Yes, we didn't rewrite the entire thing.
No, we just had to rewrite a lot of
adjustments to make it work.
Yeah. It was really well. The problem is I don't want to get into spoilers, but it was rough, but it was worth it.
Speaking of adventure paths, though, I know that one of the things that you wanted to achieve with Jewel of the Indigo Isle is to have something that would have more GM guidance for like when you go off script and when players start deviating from the story. And I think it's interesting that this is something that you perceived as a gap in what adventure paths offer, and so wanted to offer. And consumers agree that they read an adventure path and they go like, this doesn't tell me what to do when the players go off script. But the way that an adventure path is sold in a book is a format that makes people have those thoughts. Whereas when you buy like the beginner box or Murder in Metal City or something that is a box where everything you need to play, all of the tokens and everything is contained in, people have more of an expectation that everything that this adventure is in this box. And if it falls outside the scope of this box, then that's not what this game is. And then down from that is the board game expectation. And so there's kind of like these 3 levels of like, what do people even expect from this product, where a box like beginner box is not actually, I mean, it's an incredibly well-designed product for teaching the game. But even aside from that, just in terms of like what you are playing through, it's not so extremely dissimilar from other adventure products in a way that you would perceive it and have expectations from it that are completely different in terms of, well, how well does it handle when my players go off script? Like, this is a complaint that people have about adventure paths, but not about board games.
So, Jess, I'm going to tie this into the random discussion we had about Humble Bundle tiers, because the thing about certain published adventures that can set people off is if it falls in that sort of just wrong, the not just right Goldilocks middle set. Because there's certainly people out here, to tie back to the initial topic even of the episode, who love the adventures in indie RPGs that give you almost no information. It gives only like the very bare bullet points that gives you just enough to know basically what's happening, and the GM has to do everything else. And there's a lot of love for that because it's like it can lead to legitimately great adventures. But it certainly gives way less information than these adventure path volumes that people are saying, why doesn't that adventure path give even more information? And the reason is the anti-Goldilocks, where once it's low enough, people are like, well, of course it doesn't give everything. It's barely saying the anything, but it's giving us just enough to know that it's going to be a skeleton of something really great, and the players and the GM are the ones who are going to fill it in. Whereas on the other side, people want everything, which is obviously impossible. You're not going to be able to fit that in any given page count. Steven even only did because he was willing to inflate the page count beyond what he expected it to be. And so I think that is a risk of information high, but not all the way high adventures, of having them be in that middle ground.
By the way, so we did add a lot of these extra sections, and I do know that Ron Lundeen, who was in charge of the adventure paths, one of the two people in charge of the adventure paths at Paizo, who wrote our adventure, wrote the second adventure, said, wow, this is such a good idea, I'm stealing it. And he did. He literally stole that and put that into some of the Paizo adventures, because I'm surprised no one ever did that before. It's so easy to do as little sidebars, just like, this is what you do if the characters lose, this is what happens if they go off script. Like, you know, it's not even at what to do, it's just how to handle it. It gives you some ideas. So because it will happen so quick and it's hard to come up with something on the fly. So it was just ideas of how to like quickly, you know, come up with something on the fly.
How to quickly pivot.
Yeah, very quickly pivot, and then you could figure out the details later. So, and that, a weird coincidence, Deadwood just came on my TV. That is a weird coincidence. So I just mentioned Deadwood. I haven't seen the show in 15 years, and now it's on my show. It's on my television. That is bizarre. Anyhow, so are people trying out new TTRPGs? Are people? Maybe I should do a poll. See who's trying out new stuff. Let's do a little poll. Do.
And
Engage
for
with
the
your
poll,
audience.
we should say something about like, did people recently start trying out new tabletop RPGs, right? Because if the person answers yes, but they've been trying out new tabletop RPGs for like 10 years, then it's not central to your thesis of people are now leaving for the new RPGs.
All right. Well,
I do think that the Pathfinder game night product line that is like Murder in Metal City and whatnot, the boxed set of like, this is a curated experience. I do think that that is a market space that more game creators should be looking at moving into, because I do think there's something extremely appealing of the everything you need is in this box, and this box will have you covered for your game night. And this is like a board game, but it's a TTRPG format. I think that is... I think the marketing behind creating a product like that is insightful.
For sure. Agile Monk gave another super chat that said, thank you, Stephen, Mark, and Jess, for an open and constructive dialogue. Far more transparency than most folks will offer in your line of work and experience.
Thanks. Looks like Deadwood is 22 years old. Damn.
Also, so far in the vote, over 90% of our audience has recently tried out a new tabletop RPG within the last year. No surprise there, because if I've learned one thing about the overall Roll for Combat audience over time, it's that our audience has a lot of generally high information tabletop role players who are from that category, who do multiple games. We have very few of the D&D only people that are like in our audience, and they're usually people who want to see like some like technical analysis of the news and things that have recently happened in tabletop RPG from people who have like business and TTRPG design experience.
There you go. I said they've been playing D&D about 5 to 7 years ago, so you can focus on playing new games. You know, here's the thing though. I tried to get my group to play something new. They refused. They outright refused.
See, Steven, this is what I said all the way at the beginning when you said everybody's trying things. There's a lot of inertia. A lot of people don't want to have to deal with a new game system. They'd be happy to start a new game in the same system they know.
Well, we're
not like them.
I wanted them to just try out. I didn't say let's do it for a year. I was like, let's just try out something just for a few weeks. And they were like, even a one shot. They won't even do one shots though. And there's no commitment except time. But that was even too much. But to be fair, these are people who have been playing the same game for 50 years.
It's mental bandwidth in addition to time.
I think that
they like what they like.
Yeah, I think that with board games, committing one of your game weeks to a board game is a small lift, but I think that with TTRPGs, let's just do it for a one shot is actually more difficult and a bigger ask than let's just do this for a month. Because there is the perception that in order to play this game, I need to read the rules, I need to do character creation. And the idea of let's spend a month trying a new system every week is an ask of, I want you to put in the effort of reading a rule book and creating a character repeatedly every week, versus I want you to put in the lift of reading a book and creating a character once a month.
I look at it differently. I look at playing a board game is the equivalent of watching a movie. Is that you can play a board game for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, even half an hour, and you get a complete experience. Like a movie. You can go in, watch a movie from beginning to end, and you can get a complete experience. But playing a TTRPG is the equivalent of watching, even a short RPG is equivalent of watching Game of Thrones. Sure, you can play a one shot and that's one episode of Game of Thrones or another long running long running series. It's like you get something out of watching it, but you feel like you're missing a lot. You feel like, okay, I got something out of watching that one episode, or maybe I'll even watch 2 or 3. But if I want the full experience, you really got to watch the whole thing. And that is the problem, because I play one shots and I play them just to see the mechanics and to understand the world. But I find 95% of my one shots are completely they do not satisfy me at all. They're just like, they're like, they're fine, but it's like you are beyond scratching the surface of a story that you can't get into it. Some
people just like one shots better, even if they have time.
I'm saying
I had one player in college who he could come like every week, but he would have liked it if we did a one shot every week that was a different one shot.
But I'm not talking about
we had to explain to him that it was like, since he also wants the characters to be created for the one shots and he doesn't want to write the character, he likes ones that are tied into the story of the one shots. This is a lot more work for your GM to do than other things, so we can't sustainably do that.
But I'm talking about something different. I'm not talking about personal opinion. I'm not even talking about personal preference. I'm talking about game mechanic design. Is that D&D and Pathfinder have thousands, tens of thousands of pages of background and lore and history that you could explore. If I play a board game, there's a 10-page rule book and that's it. That's the game. That's the entire world to explore.
That's correct.
It is a 10-page rule book. And I feel like, wow, there's just so much more to these games. Now, some games are smaller, like Shadowdark or Pirate Borg, that is the whole game. Now you could add to it, and over time people are, but there is nothing more to a board game other than the one rule book you get, and that's the whole game. There's nothing more. It's like seeing a movie. It's like there's nothing more to that movie, unless you're watching a series of movies or a trilogy. But even then, it's like you can watch the whole thing in 3 movies. I feel like if I played 3 sessions of D&D, I'd be like, wow, I'm halfway through one level and that's it. You're not even good, that is not a complete experience or even close to a complete experience. So Agile Monk has the games he's tested out. It's Pirate Borg ACK2. What's Act 2? I don't know what that is. Dolemwood, Cosmere, Draw Steel, New Level Up, 5e. Yeah. I'm aware of all those except Act. What's ACK? Does that stand for something?
It may be Axe 2 with an S.
ACK2. What is that? Agile Monk. I do not know which one.
Could be Adventure Conquer King system.
Adventure Conquer King.
System. It has an S in it also. So
Yeah,
that may not be correct.
It's Adventure Conquer King 2. Kings 2. Huh. Interesting. Oh, Act 2. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I know nothing about it, but I've heard of it. That's the thing. You watch Knights of Last Call, and man, he is bringing up games I've never heard of. He's going into deep dives of games I have never heard of or ever seen in my entire life. So, but I don't know. It's like I'm interested in new games and new worlds just to play them once in a while. But I feel like the only TTRPG that I've played one shots for that feels like a complete experience is not Dungeon Crawls Classics, actually is the X Crawl. X Crawl is a DCC. It actually used to be in Pathfinder. I liked it when it was made in Pathfinder. It's that you are on a planet, you're on Earth, but Rome still rules the Earth, and that is a game show. And the game show is like Running Man, but it's fantasy Running Man. And
it's the Dungeon Crawler Carl style situation where it is
literally Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it is a complete experience because you go in. I think
that there's another tabletop RPG that we can all agree is more literally Dungeon Crawler Carl that is currently being crowdfunded.
Well, yes, but this was 20 years.
This was well before it, of course.
Years. And I liked it, and I loved it, and now I'm thinking about it. That's why I like it so much, is because it is a complete experience. There's no external lore. There's no it's like there is, but the lore is you're in a game show, and you need to get out and do as well as possible. That is the game. And it's kind of self-contained. You know, if you win the game show, then you did well. And then I feel like I succeeded. If my character goes up, great. If they die, it's okay too. It's just like it is a complete experience. And it's just damn fun. It's just like that. I love that world so much. Anyhow.
I remain firm in my opinion that Pathfinder cannot be compared to other games as a single game. It could be compared to something like Pathfinder V Powered by the Apocalypse. But if you're going to take like Avatar Legends versus Rapscallion, this is more analogous to like two specific Pathfinder adventure paths, where both of them are a much more narrow and curated experience, in the same way that an adventure path is a more narrow and curated experience, where you are getting more specific about genre and you have specific character options that are specific to that genre, and everything has been focused in more.
Oh, by the way, Agile Monk has a question for you, Jess.
Oh.
Do you play any musical instruments, as some of the best creatives I know do?
No. One of my parents played guitar, and I was taking guitar lessons as a child, but I was an ungrateful child who did not appreciate that taking guitar lessons was like cool and would be good. And so I was learning guitar from like a family friend. And there was one day when we were over and my little brother got to play with newborn baby kittens while I was at my guitar lesson. And because I was a child and I didn't appreciate that there was value to learning to play the guitar, I was upset that I couldn't play with the baby kittens. And I was asked, do you want to learn the guitar, or do you want to just play with the baby kittens? And I said, no, I want to play with the baby kittens, of course. Of course.
Why can't you do both? Play the guitar with the baby kittens. There you go.
No, I stopped doing my guitar lessons.
There you go.
Because I did not appreciate it, because I was, a child.
I actually played the drums. I played the drums as a kid. That was fun.
Yeah.
So because so my parents, I really wanted to play the clarinet because all the cool kids played the clarinet. But my dad was a dentist, a periodontist, and he's like, no, because you get an overbite, it can mess up your teeth. He wouldn't let me play any mouth, not just a mouth, any mouth instrument. Because he's like, no, mess up your teeth, blah, blah, blah. And he wasn't wrong. So it's like, no, you're not allowed to play that. It has to be an instrument that's not a mouth instrument, which I was like, well, I'm not going to play like the violin or the harp. I was like, what are you going to do? Let us play the drums? And he's like, sure. I'm like, really? You will let me have a drum set and I can play the drums whenever I want. And they were like, yes. And they're like, and you will never complain about the noise ever. And they were like, yes. And I said, oh, okay. And they never did. To give them credit, not only did they never complain about the noise, I was the coolest kid in the neighborhood because everyone would come over to slam on those drums. They had so much fun on that drum set. And not only that, I've told this story once before, is I got so used to, because then my brother played the drums. I got so used to hearing the drums being played that I was in an apartment building, and next to my next door neighbor had a drum set, and they were playing it all the time. And I didn't even notice it until someone said, "It's like, why is that person playing the drums?" I was like, oh, I didn't even notice, because I got so used to hearing people playing the drums, and that I just slept through it. It was like background noise to me at this point.
That's funny. I
Also,
don't even remember hearing that story on
It was
the
also
show.
the best instrument on earth, because everyone else would go to school and they're carrying their clarinet cases, or they're carrying all their damn instruments, and I would carry a pair of drumsticks, and that's it. That's the only thing you need to carry, because all the drums were supplied. So I just had to carry a pair of drumsticks in my back pocket and be the cool kid. Playing the drums was fun. That was fun. It was a lot of stress though, because you actually had to, if you messed up, everyone knew you messed up, because everyone had to follow you. So I was like I was one of the only people to really watch the conductor, because they would yell it if you're going too fast or too slow, because you set the pace for everyone. So it was pretty interesting. So anyhow, what about you, Mark? Did you play anything?
I did not play any instrument because when my mom was in the same position as Jess, I guess, with the equivalent baby chickens, not baby chickens, baby
chickens.
Baby chickens. I mean, those are cute too. But the equivalent baby kitten scenario, her mother did not give her the options to play with the baby kittens. She had to learn the piano, and she did not like that. So while there were very many things that I was required to do growing up, that was the one thing that she was like, I'll never make my children have to learn an instrument because of that. And so neither myself nor either of my two brothers learned an instrument, because we were not forced to do so.
Yeah, I wasn't forced. All my friends were doing it, and it was just something to do.
There you go.
It was fun. I mean,
yeah,
that was great. That was a lot of fun. And you got to sit around. You weren't playing. It was the greatest.
I am musically incompetent, which makes me, like at a D level, which makes me like the best at music in my immediate family, because everybody else is like at an F, total tone deaf level. As you've seen that I'm at a D level, if you watch any of the episodes where Steven made Derek and me like sing things because of the number of thumbs up that the episode got.
Derek can sing. By the way, Alex RQ8MH said he got our Eldamon book, an Ancestry book for dragons. I guess he meant Dungeons and Dragons, and it is awesome.
No, I think the Eldamon book and the Dragon Ancestry book.
No, for dragons.
Yeah, the Ancestry book for dragons.
Yeah, the Ancestry book that lets you play dragons.
Book is the Ancestry book for playing a dragon.
Oh, got it. I thought he meant 4 Dungeons.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Yes, they are.
You can tell I like dragons. You can look behind me.
I wonder what school Steven went to where the cool kids were playing clarinet. On Long Island, man. It was like the 2 most popular ones was clarinet and violin by far. Those were like super, super, super popular. Like everyone was playing those. Also, clarinet just seemed easy because you just carried it around with you. But I was happy with my decision of drums. I'll leave it at that. So, saxophone. Saxophone was too heavy. Remember, you had to carry them with you. And it was like, and if you were walking to school and carrying your instrument, oof, it was not fun. Not fun. So, and I rode my bike to school. Someone asked if Fiasco is a good one-shot system. Fiasco is a great one-shot system.
Yeah,
I think it's made
honestly,
for
I think that Fiasco is one of those systems that's really made to shine with one-shots.
But Fiasco is also one of those systems that you literally only play. Like some games are almost just one-shot games. Like Fiasco, right. I don't think you could play in more than one session.
That's what I'm saying. It's made to shine in the one-shot format. Like that's what it's for. A lot of indie games, and depending on how you define indie games, you might be like, some of these aren't indie games, but a lot of non-D&D-ish games know what they want to be, and they know what their format is, and they're designed to be optimized for that, as opposed to like something like D&D or even Pathfinder, like Jess said, a different adventure path or a different kind of curated experience could be more different from each other while being in the same game system than two powered by the apocalypse systems might be from each other if they're fairly similar ones.
By the way, we started a trend because now everyone's saying what they played, and we had someone who played the flugelhorn, someone who played the sax, and they had to walk a mile carrying that damn sax. That's a pain. And somebody did drums.
But was it uphill both ways?
It was uphill both ways on ice and snow and fog and sleet. And rain. I did drums too. My mother was a music major, taught high school band for 10 years. She taught drums. It was the most tolerable instrument for me to learn. Yeah, drums is pretty fun because even when you're bad at it, it's still pretty fun. Saxophone is cool. Someone did the French horn and the trumpet. Oh my God. I think having a trumpet would be way worse than having in your house than having a drum set, by the way. That sounds really, really bad. He said he was from Wisconsin and there was a hill. So, yep, uphill both ways.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, I rode to school and it was up a hill every day and it sucked. Going to school always sucked because it was first thing in the morning. I was waking up and I'm like, oh, I got to go to school. Got to go up this hill. But getting home was great because I'd be like, yeah, school's over. Whee! Just go all the way back down. So much fun. Until I wiped out. Anyhow. Back to talking about Jess and her hair. Jess.
Oh.
You need to are you getting your hair done anytime soon? Your hair colored?
Before Origins.
Before Origins. She's gonna come nice and shiny?
Yeah.
Nice and shiny.
Just my usual hair habits. I usually just get it done before cons.
Oh, that explains why it always looks so good. You're always like, you gotta show off for the public. Yeah. Your celebrity public.
Yeah.
What do you want to play at NightCon? What is your goals to play?
I don't know. I'd like to play new games that I've never played before. So I don't really have like a specific goal list of which games I'd like those to be. I did a poll in the Knights of Last Call server to see what people wanted me to run, and I think I'm gonna run the Planescape Pathfinder games that I used to run at PaizoCon.
I was thinking maybe I could run Pathfinder. I could run one of our Shadowdark dungeons. Those are pretty cool.
That could be fun too.
Yeah, I mean, I know those very well too.
One-shots just at conventions are fun. I have a lot of fun one-shots that I created for PaizoCons, like Fighter Squad versus the Throne of Chaos, which was like based upon the idea of like an 80s arcade or a 90s arcade game that was based on an 80s cartoon show. Doesn't actually exist, called Fighter Squad versus the Throne of Chaos, where you just got weird power-ups between levels and beat 'em up a whole bunch of things in Pathfinder. But I've also done ones that are just like systemless. That's just like we talk about what people are doing, and once they've done certain options, they either die or they don't, and there's a time loop, and we see if they can get out of it.
By the way, we had a question. Someone said, I imagine Steven was like the lead in Music Man, selling 76 trombones and then leaving town. Hey, he had a good racket. There's nothing wrong with that. Back in those days, you can do that. You can just disappear. You go in, sell everyone a bill of goods, and then leave, and they'll never find you. Nowadays, too easy to find you, man.
We also have someone in chat who says, hey guys, I backed Eldamon at the $129 tier. I'm looking at the new Battlezoo Humble Bundle. How much overlap is there? Is it worth grabbing the bundle if I already have the Eldamon PDF?
Zero lap.
As I mentioned in response to them in the chat, there's no Eldamon books in the Kickstarter. It will all be new to you. Now, what it does have that's actually useful if you have the Eldamon books is it has a setting book for our setting where Eldamon exists, and they are mentioned a few times. There's even a picture of and I think it's like an elemental avatar of like a shiny, very special Eldamon in one of the cities, for example. So we've got like the classes are in there, and the adventure path mentions Eldamon a few times, and even has like one situation where like an ancient Eldamon pops up, one where like the Eldamon of the land are being disrupted. You'll see it if you play the adventure path. I don't want to say more because it would become spoilers.
Well, here's someone after my own heart. Kevin's lore. That was me. I was all set to play saxophone in middle school band, but my grandma decided it was too much money for my mom to spend and talked me into going into choir instead. As someone whose kids grew up in choir from beginning to end, actually, my son is still in choir. He did it. He's joined choir in college and traveled the world. Let me tell you, that was the right choice, man. Choir, although choir, well, at their level, they had to buy a lot of uniforms and they would buy plane tickets and say like, it's discounted, but you still had to buy them. Like, and he went to Japan and China.
By the way, Steven, it looks like chat believes that string instruments are better. Sorry, drums did not win the popularity contest.
They don't know what drums are. The people don't know.
Percussion came in second place, but percussion. You also have other instruments in percussion too.
That's okay. Which instruments are the best? We have 27 votes. That is not nearly enough of a sample size. It's way too small.
I mean, that's how many we had of one of the ones that you were checking to see who played a new RPG.
No, we had 50. It was like in the 50s.
Eventually.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how many people end up going to different. Well, the best is subjective. I will not say percussion is the best. It was the best for me. But if I'm listening to something, I would I'd rather have a guitar. I think that's more interested listening to
I do think the guitars are very popular for certain types of music and like violins in orchestral pieces. Exactly. So strings definitely have a lot of gravitas that is going to make them hard to beat in a poll like that. Exactly.
And brass and woodwind, man, it takes a certain types of person to play those instruments, I tell you. I feel like a lot of people who play those instruments, they play other instruments. That's not like their only one. Like they'll play like 10 instruments. So it's very rare.
In chat, we had a lot of brass and woodwinds players.
Well, when you have strings, people usually will just play like one or two strings and that's it. As opposed to, I don't know. I know a couple of musicians. Mike Shapiro, my friend, he's a professional composer and he can play. Because he's a professional composer, he can play like 20 instruments, so on purpose, so he knows how they all sound and how he can, score them. So.
When you say plays 20 instruments on purpose, it just makes me curious. I picture the person who can play 20 instruments by accident.
Well, what I meant is that he went out of his way.
I accidentally learned how to play 20
instruments. No, but he went out of his way to learn them so that he can compose for them.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, because he has to compose for every instrument. So as a composer, you need to know how they all work and how they all sound. Yeah, I don't think he's a master at any piano. He's a master of piano, but and that's the other thing. If you can play piano, a lot of people can play almost. For some reason, it's this thing. If you play piano, you can play almost anything. I don't know why that is. But I did play piano, by the way, for a little while, but I didn't really like it. So. Anyhow, someone learned the hurdy-gurdy. That's what I said. I was like, oh, what do you play? I play the lute. There we go. Or I play the hurdy-gurdy. Or I play the xylophone. We had to play the xylophone once in a while because that was part of the drum area. Is cymbals, xylophone. What else did we have to play? Kettle drums.
I want to get a theremin.
I was going to say theremin.
Yeah, there you go.
You could play a theremin.
Yeah.
What about a
That's the one for me.
Yeah, man. Theremin. There's a few people who play them.
Theremins do seem cool.
Well, now it's all electronic. It's like you don't need a theremin anymore. You can just do it through your computer. So
not the same.
It's definitely not the same. But
I've gotten to play with like an electronic. I mean, obviously all theremins are electronic, but not one of like the antique ones with the big cabinet.
All right, everyone is a super geek.
It was very fun.
What is the only TV show theme song that uses a theremin? Surprised it's taking this long for people to get this one.
Is it 2001: A Space Odyssey?
TV show. Wow, no one's getting this? Come on, geeks. Oh, you guys are terrible. I am actually taking everyone's geek card back. Doctor Who? It's not Doctor Who. Star Trek. That is correct. Techno Monkey. You know. That is Doctor Who. I think they didn't actually use it. They might have used theremin later, but that actually was done using just like electronics and like they used weird feedback when they did stuff like that. Like when they did when they did the Daleks talking, like that's an example. They were very into just fooling around with the mechanics of sound in Doctor Who. And they might have used
looks like they
later.
use tape manipulation for Doctor Who.
Yeah, they use a lot
not
of tape.
a theremin. They just they messed around with their analog tape until it sounded like that.
Yep. They did a lot of cool sound effects, but they didn't use a theremin. But Star Trek uses a theremin. So a lot of people did get it. So all of you who got it, you get to keep your geek card, and the rest of you do not. As soon as you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, of course, that whole do-do, do-do-do-do-do. It totally is a theremin. So. And someone spelled Star Trek wrong. There you go. Oh, we could do a whole thing. From Severance to The Simpsons, the theremin has popped up unexpectedly in TV shows and film ever since its invention. Someone's giving me a whole thing. Oh, actually, I just saw the episode of Big Bang Theory when Sheldon was learning the theremin. There you go. So, Jess?
I guess that makes sense as a Big Bang Theory episode.
Yeah. Well,
I can't be surprised by that as a Big Bang Theory episode premise.
Big Bang Theory is my go-to. First, it's on every channel. It's on all the time. I guarantee I can find it on cable right now. And it is so stupid, but I love that show. I love it so much. I just watch it. It's just candy. It's totally mindless. It's totally bad, and I can't get enough of that damn show. I don't know why. I actually like the actors and how they interact with each other. First 2 seasons are kind of bad, but then it gets pretty good after that. Anyhow, so what is your final take on all this, Jess? Dandy Lover and Elemental Storm Lady. Can't think of a good term for you.
Avatar of the elements. You could be an elemental avatar.
Elemental avatar, storm.
Elemental
Lord.
enthusiast.
Storm Lord. We'll call you the Storm Lord. I like that.
Well, like I said earlier, I do think that it was insightful to start making like the Pathfinder game night product line, and I think it's very telling.
Have you
that
tried any of
the
those?
product line? No.
No, you're like, oh, it's great. They made this product line.
It was insightful.
No, no, it is.
But it's not. But we talked again about how we are the minority of people here.
I have both.
I don't have them.
I have murder,
but they're not.
They're
cool, not a. But they look very cool, but they're not a product line that was developed for my demographic. But it is an insightful look at the market. I think this is a thing that the market wants. I think that especially naming the product line Game Night, I think is really getting at the experience that you have of a different board game every night, and you could bring Pathfinder Game Night to your board game night.
I'm just wondering how successful. I got to ask Eric Mona, because let me tell you, I think these are literally okay. Board games are designed to be bought, played, and collected, and they're fairly expensive, and they're getting more expensive. This is dirt cheap. This is $35. Okay. It comes with dice. It comes with a lot of stuff. They're making zero. They're not making a penny on this. There is no way he's making, at best, they're breaking even and probably losing money. Okay. There's no way they're making a penny on this thing. I mean, yeah, they're using pretty cheap paper. I'm just looking at it. They're using...
not the paper review.
What? That's the biggest expense. What is the biggest expense of any printed product? Is it the ink? No, it's the staples, Jess. It's the paper.
Of course. I just mean It's just funny to me. It's one of like the classic Roll for Combat episode bingo spaces. Did Steven review the paper in a TTRPG product?
You don't want to know why? Because I taught printing at Carnegie Mellon, and the final project.
The Steven story. We got another bingo space filled.
And the final project for the freshman orientation class was they had to put together a book, and inside the book they had to find over 60 different types of printing methodologies, label them and give them an example, and they also had to show different types of paper and printing and methodologies for making paper. And I would then have to go through the books and grade them. And let me tell you, it's hard to tell the different types of printing methodology, and I have to go there with a loop to tell if it was like flexography versus offset versus gravure versus there's so many ways to print, and or screen printing, and I had to know if I was right or not. So there we go. I just have to talk about baseball and you get a bingo. Yeah, I didn't go to any of the baseball games because the Mets suck and it's pathetic. So there you go. You get a bingo. Anyhow, this is like, I mean, look, it comes with a book. It comes with character sheets. It comes with maps. It comes with tokens. Yeah, whatever these are. The pogs and rules reference. I mean, this is a gateway, though. This is not designed. I get it that it's designed for people to quickly jump in and play, but I'd be very curious to talk to Eric off the record and get the official numbers for this thing, because it's like it's strange because like, who is this for? Like,
the only thing that I think is confusing about the product is that it is not a super premium product.
Well, because it has to be cheap. That's why, because it's $35.
That's what I mean.
Right. It's designed to be fast.
If this were an $80 product, it would make more sense.
But no one's going to buy $80 for one night of event. But that's also a one shot. Like a board game, you can spend $100 and play that game 1,000 times. You literally can't play this more than once.
That's not necessarily true. What do people pay for Alice is Missing? I mean, Alice is Missing obviously has way less components, but it's also an extremely on the rails experience. Have you played Alice is Missing?
No.
You should.
I'll look at the price for Alice is Missing.
Physical Alice is Missing, $22.
There you go.
But it's just a deck of cards.
Well, that's $22, and a deck of cards is a hell of a lot easier to develop than this product is. Like, a total nightmare. I'm like looking at this, I'm like, that's a lot of work. There's a lot of work.
It needs to be $80. It needs to have premium components. It needs to have like luscious maps. It needs to have full like actual miniatures. There's a bunch of stuff going on with it that is making it occupy a weird like middle tier space that makes it like, why would if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to buy a premium product, but if I want to save money, I should just buy the core rule book and not this thing that is only a single experience. But I do think that I think that Jubensha's show that people will spend on and like Alice is Missing and other things that are like that are a singular experience, that are like you play this game once and then you've experienced the game and you're not going to play a murder mystery a second time. You already know who the murderer is.
All right, I got something. You ready? I got a game that you can only play once that I guarantee none of you have ever probably heard of. Kingdom Legacy. Do you know what this is?
No.
Ever see this, Mark?
I don't think I have.
I've
heard of things with the name Kingdom because it's a very generic game name, but I don't think I've heard of Kingdom Legacy.
I've heard of things that start with the letter K before. I mean, that's the most generic thing you could say.
Well, if you then talked to me about it and it turned out that it was related to a game that I knew that was called Kingdom, then
card game, legacy card game, and it's really good. Actually, is that you are building a kingdom. And how it starts off is that you basically have a deck and you have 10 cards. And then you put out 4 cards at a time. And you can then do things with the cards. And what's neat here, I'll show you the cards. Actually, it's a very cool game. I actually love the mechanics. I've never seen a game quite like it.
They have a leaderboard?
Yeah, it's really neat. So you basically, so here's the card. And then the level 1 version of the card is this, where it produces a land that produces 1 gold. And then if you spend 2 gold, you could upgrade it. And by upgrading it, you go whoop like that. And now it goes from a land to a plains. And then the plains now produces 1 gold, but it also has a special action. You spend 3 gold, you get to upgrade it by that. And now it is, according to this, it is farmland. And then if you spend 3 gold, you can upgrade it again to a barn, into a total, into what is that? A food barn. So every card can be upgraded up to 4 times. So you put it down and then you decide how you're going to play your kingdom. And then you can upgrade your kingdom. And then
Derek is here.
Oh, Derek's here.
He says that doesn't look like an RPG, ...
It is an RPG because you're telling a story. You're telling the story of your kingdom. And then as you go through, you get different things. You get fights, you get plagues, you get dragons, volcanoes explode and destroy your land. It's pretty cool, actually. But it is legacy because you destroy your cards as you go through. This little box has hundreds of cards. It comes with sticker sheets because then as you upgrade your cards, you put little stickers on them. And you can see, I mean, that's how big the box is. I mean, it is a big game. It takes like 6 to 8 hours to finish this game. But it is a one-time thing. It's a one-time game. But what makes this game cool is because there's such a random element to it, you can play it more than once. I mean, you do, but the box is only like $20. And then they have a little thing where you write on the box where you put your scores, put your names of your kingdoms.
Aren't you supposed to rip up the cards?
Yeah, you do rip up the cards. But
well, then you can't really play it more than once if you're actually ripping them up and putting the stickers on.
If you buy it again, you can play it more than once.
No,
That's what I meant. You buy it and then you can play it again.
So, by the way, the chat has...
It's only $20.
I was surprised by this. They have some of the same preferences that I do towards the RFC bingo elements. 48% prefer Steven stories. 24% prefer 80s movies. 18% prefer Steven paper quality review. And only 9% prefer baseball, which... I'm actually surprised that twice as many like the paper quality to baseball because that's how I feel. But I thought a lot of people like baseball.
I'm ending that poll. I'm going to remove your. I'm going to remove your admin privileges. I give them to Jess. I think Jess would be more responsible with them. But man, everyone likes a Steven story. I got lots of them.
Yeah, the Steven stories are the best ones.
They never end. They never end. So Derek asked, is Steven excited he got into my Daggerheart game? Not really. Not really. Daggerheart was my backup. I actually didn't even want to play it. I only put it down because I thought I had to put a backup. But I probably would have just put down nothing. Because I wanted to get into the One Ring. But I guess I'll try out Daggerheart. I mean, how bad could it be, right? I mean, Derek's running it. I mean,
really bad.
I mean, it's a fun game normally,
I played
but
it once
if you're
before,
saying that Derek is going to mess it up for
use.
you, then I don't know.
I do get
that
to use.
That seems likely to me.
Woo! My Daggerheart class pack. I don't even think these are out yet.
That's exciting.
We got this for free. They gave me and Derek a few freebies when we visited them at Gamma, and this is my freebie, so I get to use.
That's cool.
I'll probably play Sorcerer just to try out the spell. There were 12 people.
Derek said 12 people will happily take your place, Steven, if you'd rather play nothing.
Oh, really? When is it? On Wednesdays? Actually, that was the other reason. I think it was Wednesday nights, and I'm actually pretty free Wednesday nights. Baseball games are usually Wednesday afternoons, so it doesn't interfere with my baseball schedule. I'm almost always here for this show. So, and then I get to see Derek all day Wednesday because Derek, you do the show with us. And then I get to see you Wednesday night. So it's like date night for Steve and Derek. There you go. Actually, I do want to play. I'm just giving you shit because you canceled on me at the last second and we had to get Jess. Oh, I'm kidding. Jess is always invited. Jess, you can come at any time you want. In fact, Jess, if you want to come on, I'll bump Derek whenever you want. How about that?
Okay.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
What? Bumping Derek?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like when Derek and Jess are on at the same time, though. Derek,
you could just like make an animation of like a racquetball racket, just like racquetballing into Derek's face, and then like kind of shove that square off and put Jess on.
Derek can join us, but he'll be muted for the entire stream.
That's okay. I don't have a room for you.
You could shadow mute him.
I would literally have to have you just talking, and there's just like, so
yeah,
he'd be muted the whole stream. What's the point then?
Yeah,
it's like having you.
That would be funny.
It's like having you in chat. At least in chat, you can talk to us.
Derek says torture.
Torture. What is torture?
Having him muted so he couldn't give his 2 cents.
Oh, God. No panel of 9 talking heads. We've had 5 on the show. I think 5. I didn't really like 5. I think 4 is about the max I like.
5 was pretty interesting. It was a lot of people, but it was kind of cool that there were that many people.
Too many people. So, Derek, tell me more about this Daggerheart game. Are we playing it on... where are we playing it? Online on Foundry?
Derek streamed for almost 6 hours last night.
Man, I was off playing board games. I was too busy being cool and having fun. I learned how to play Beyond the Sun. That is an awesome game. That one I liked a lot. I like that game a lot. It broke my streak though. I've won every game I've played for the last 3 months, and I did lose that one because I played against someone who's played it like 10 times, and I didn't really know the best way to win, which obviously was to get to level 4 technologies, because those things are worth a shitload of points, which I did not know. Demiplane.
When you were...
You hate Demiplane, Derek. Oh, no.
That's so funny.
Oh, we're playing on... Oh, sorry. That was Joe. That was Joe Stone is cool. He said Demiplane. No, we're playing on Foundry. Foundry. All right. Thank God. And I am becoming a Foundry insane nut because I'm running all my games on Foundry and a coder. And obviously all of our things are on Foundry. I didn't get too big into so on Foundry, I have other people who code it. I just do the CSS. I do the layout and design. But I mean, I've been a coder for like 40 years, so I'm starting to get into the coding. Yeah, it's really good. I really like it. I'm really starting to get into it. I'm actually updating I'm actually updating the Joule module because I keep finding things to make it better. So as I'm going through the levels, Mark, I don't know if you're using Foundry. If you update it, there's new things being added to the Foundry module because I keep adding new things.
I don't actually have the Foundry module. Oh. I have the PDF and the hardcover.
Fantasy Ground says Daggerheart too. I have not used Fantasy Ground since they switched over to what are they using? Whatever the new engine is. I haven't switched since they moved to the new engine. So there you go. So what is your hypothesis, Mark, on the topic that
I think it's still what I said earlier on, which is you're quite correct that people are going for shorter game nights, simpler experiences, and shorter sessions. Sometimes not going for that fantasy of if we play for several years, we'll finish a 1 to 20 campaign. That they kind of never really succeeded at a high rate, but that people kind of believed that they could. But I disagree that that is causing a massive exodus into other game systems. I think that a lot of people are sticking with that a lot of monosystem people are sticking with their system and just changing the way they play that system. Whereas the multi-system people already were multi-system people.
About new people, though, because this is what's going to happen is that if you go, you see, we have nothing but grognards on this show. I need to do a show and find all the youngins and see what they're playing and see what they're doing, because that's what happens. And you see, I actually strongly disagree, because everything that was talking in Gamma was talking about not only shorter games, not only shorter rule sets that are easier to learn, but I'll tell you the big one that everyone was talking about by far was, and by the way, well, I can't say anything yet, but digest size. This is the thing everyone is doing. Everyone is doing digest size. Everyone. And there's a reason. There's a combination of A, it's cheaper. B, it's easier to design and lay out. It's much faster to get out. You know how long it takes to fill up a page?
Sure.
Steven,
there's a reason they gave that advice at Gamma, and that advice is right, but that what I'm saying is, I believe, still correct.
No, but
here's why. When they gave that speech at Gamma and they told you what to do, they were trying to get you to do a better job at making a product that would be purchased by the demographic of people who already play multiple RPGs.
Well, just for the retailers.
This was,
but the retailers
and for some of the retailers. But this was not aimed at Wizards of the Coast. They who sell which is the only game that is played by those mono system people for the most part.
Well, because, and there's the other thing, that this was also a huge thing in Gamma. This was big. And I can't emphasize this enough. Can you fit more TTRPG books in a shelf that has these size books, 8.5 by 11, or digest size in the exact same space? And the answer is obviously, well, yeah, of course, you can get digest. You can get way more digest size.
Of course,
and that's also why manga is taking over too, because it's like, you see how much you could fit in manga? Have you seen those manga shelves? It is ridiculous how much you could fit. And because the stores are buying the smaller shelves, guess what? You can't put these books on those shelves. You literally can't. They don't fit. So there's less room. In fact, that has become another big issue, is that the TTRPG, when I was talking to Barnes & Noble, it's because they moved so much into, now they have adjustable shelves, but still, is that they're moving so much into smaller books that if you don't have a digest-sized book, they might not buy it from you. Even if it's a good book, they will probably rather buy a digest-sized book from you than a full-size book. Simple as that. And that is becoming a big issue. And I guarantee
that makes total sense.
That everyone, including Wizards, I guarantee, not maybe right now, but they're gonna start releasing digest-sized books. I guarantee it.
Oh, and look, I also don't disagree with you that is a possibility either. I am just saying that the demographic of people who aren't switching their tabletop RPG and maybe will never do so is very, very overlapped with the demographic that are playing Dungeons and Dragons and only Dungeons and Dragons. So if they're talking to retailers, if they're talking to publishers that aren't, they're talking to publishers about, like, here's how to make your games that will be good for retailers. You want this, shorter games, you want this. They're not talking about D&D, and they're not talking about how to siphon people away from D&D. They're talking about how to attract the interest of the people who already were playing games beyond D&D.
Someone asked, are the RFC Shadowdark books digest size? Yes, they're exactly digest size. Actually, I will be releasing, I have to go out tonight, so tomorrow I will be releasing a new set of books for Shadowdark. I will release, actually all 3 books will be updated. So I'll be releasing all 3 books. And now Monster Hunt is mostly done. We're missing like 4 or 6 monsters.
Yeah, we just need art for the last few, but we did get Agile Monk's monster.
Oh, give me the monsters that we're missing. Give me the 4 monsters.
Agile Monk's monsters, so I can get you the art for that, Stephen, which is the only one other than the one guy who emailed.
And one other person's missing.
Well, other than the one guy who emailed you being
Kelsey, we still missing. She has one day.
You're correct. You're correct.
Kelsey
We're missing
has one day to give me her monster. Tomorrow's the last day.
There's gonna be a few that aren't in there, but it's mostly done, and so it'll be good to get out a beta that just has a few blank spots.
Actually, I am gonna text her right now to remind her. She has 2
There
monsters.
you go. You've seen it on screen. Steven did it. So
I didn't
people
do
are
it yet.
wondering.
I gotta find her text. There she is. I'm like, hey girl, don't forget tomorrow. You guys can talk while I'm texting.
I'm just looking at what people are saying, like raggy about this texting. Or Mark T says Derek should have made a monster. But what Derek explains to everyone is that he takes 100 times longer to make a monster than you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I would expect someone to take a decent amount of time to make a monster. So
Derek should have made a monster. Well, if Kelsey doesn't get hers in, Derek, you're making 2 monsters for us, okay?
I would say that people would take a day or less to make a monster, so Derek would take 100 days or less.
No, because I will
Derek
set aside an hour of my time where I will do nothing other than bully Derek while he makes a monster.
Well, if you have Jess to bully Derek while he makes the monster, that might work.
Yeah.
I will give up my spot on the very first on the Daggerheart game and have Jess show up just to bully Derek until she gives up. Actually,
I don't know. I think we should have a super chat goal or something like that.
Jess, you want to play Daggerheart with me? And
yeah,
Derek?
sure.
She said sure.
I don't have silver tickets in his Discord though. I was given 100 silver tickets by one of his patrons, but I spent those already having Ferb House added to the first
no room at the
queue.
end. No, Derek, we're gonna share the character. We're gonna be like a 2-headed monster.
Your character can be a 2-headed long Furby where the tail is also a head.
We'll be an ogre. Yeah, we'll be the 2-headed ogre.
Use the Daggerheart ancestry creator that they made.
That's right.
Make a 2-headed long Furby as your ancestry.
Oh my God, that's it. Oh, we're gonna use the ancestry creator.
We did it on the stream when they first released it. Remember, I made the Stephen Glicker ancestry.
Somehow a 2-headed long Furby. Oh boy, we messed up Derek. He's not happy.
Derek agrees that feels like it would fit in the system.
By the way, this is why I joined your game, Derek, because I am just gonna make your life hell. It's gonna be great. Players are gonna love it. I'll tell you that much.
I think we should have a super chat goal to see if we can have a stream of just bullying Derek for an hour to write a monster.
Actually, Steve bullying Derek in a game, but it's not. It's even better. You do it in game. Wait, Derek, why are you still here? Don't you have your racquetball? Oh, I guess we have a. Oh, maybe other players are there to actually have fun and engage with the system. It's possible. I don't think so. I think they enjoy having Derek being roughed up by other players. I think that's the real thing. Those are crashing, the Labubu.
Yeah, that's fine. I played a normal price from the direct store for it. I didn't go on the Labubu black market.
Don't worry.
But someone in chat was saying that we should play a 2-headed Labubu. And I just want to be clear that in addition to having a long Furby, I do also have
all right, Derek, I'll tell you what. I will play the most boring. I will play a human fighter. And his name will be Bob. And I will be as straight-laced and boring as imaginable. I will just sit there and just be like, I attack with my longsword and I block with my shield. And that's it. I'm there to have fun and be serious and play games. There's no being silly in a Derek game. Derek games have to be dead serious. That's the rule. He just won't spotlight me. Hey, man, it's no problem with me. Half the time when I'm playing on D&D, I'm just working anyhow. And then they're like, Steve, what are you doing? I'm like, what? Oh, yeah. I cast Magic Missile. Did that work? There you go.
Steve, Derek, just do a poll with the other people in that game and ask them yes or no. Do you want to play in this game if Jess and Steven are both controlling a single character?
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I'm actually going to go on to the Discord. Yeah. Let's go on the Discord. Jess, you should type in here. I know exactly where it is because he just posted our up. I'm already in here. Here we go. And because he's
so like, if the issue is that the other players are there to play an actual game and have fun with the system, first of all, how dare you assume that I would not also be there to play an actual game and have fun with the system? I love to play an actual game and have fun with the system. Thank you. But you can just ask these people what they want. Do they want a game that does have Steven and I controlling a single character, or do they want one that does not have that? Because it's possible that this is a feature. It's possible that they would like this very much.
I know they probably.
And we'll never know until we ask them.
You're right. I have created a double Ferb ancestry on using the card creator of Daggerheart. I now have a PDF of it. I will put it into.
What should be a double-headed.
I put a double-headed Furby. I have created it while we were talking. I will attach the file into our. I've attached it to our Zoom chat. There you go. You're welcome.
Oh God, what's it called? It's called Double Ferb. Double Ferb.
Nice.
Here we go.
Nice.
A double-headed Furby character in this game. We would both be playing a single character, 2 heads.
Tag me into the channel that you're sending this in.
I just sent it to the Zoom chat.
No.
I know what is
Steven in the Roll for Combat Discord.
I know.
Tag me into.
Where are you? You're just Jess. I was like, what's your?
Yeah, I'm just
Discord?
Jess.
Just Jess.
Just Jess.
There we go.
Thank you.
I didn't do an actual poll. I'm just doing an informal poll. There you go.
Right,
Derek.
of course, because we're only polling like 4 people.
Yeah, I don't know how to get the actual. Oh, wait. I can get them. Wait, I have the names of everyone who's in the game. Let's see. I don't have their other names, but I have.
I don't see a really good way that I guess the only way that people will be able to see this card that I made is if Steven decided to show it by putting it on his OBS. Actually, wait a minute. Now that I'm using an OBS virtual camera, I might be able to add the card onto my background. Let's see if I can do that. Although, it was a PDF and not an image.
Nope, I'm tagging them. Oh, I'm tagging the other people. There we go. It's a total feature. Steve and Jess are amazing. Oh, we would just totally mess up this game. It's only 6, and we were talking about it's only a 6-session game. There we go. It ties right into the main topic. Oh my God. And we should
right.
And we should stream this thing. There we go. If Mark made Daggerheart stuff, I would 10 times the total content. He just did. We're playing a Mark created.
Look, I'm putting it on top of my face.
Look at that. That's what we get to play. Look, it's the double Ferb. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that, Derek.
See, Derek?
Steven,
don't you want to allow this?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Steven, do you want to see my favorite long Furby?
Sure.
I love Bartholomew, but I do have a different like celebrity long Furby.
Where
is my favorite long Furby. And I will show you. I will show you this beautiful angel.
Where did you send the I'll send it in Discord, Mark. I can't get it from the stream.
That's fine. I can send it in Discord.
Well, I'll mess up the stream.
Someone also talked about a evil Teddy Ruxpin, and someone made that for our Shadowdark.
Yeah, they're actually
they literally made like an evil Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah. I just did
as one of the Shadowdark monsters. So
it's actually very funny. I have the art. I selected the art. I don't have time for them to get back to me. It's gonna take forever. So they're all the same. The art's like just different poses. They're all the same monster. It's just the pose. Oh my God, you've shown that to me before. That thing is disgustingly creepy.
Her name is Buttered Noodles.
Ugh, I think would give me nightmares.
She is beautiful. I am obsessed with Buttered Noodles. And when Logan Bonner asked me if I had art direction for one of the Darvaka, the Pathfinder Nightshades in Book of the Dead, I sent him a picture of Buttered Noodles.
And that's what it is.
And keep in mind, Nightshades are like some of the deepest, darkest nightmares of the Shadow Plane. Yes. They're like an undead mixed with nihilism and darkness.
Yeah.
So
butter.
if it gives you nightmares, Steven, then that's perfect for being a Darvaka.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me make buttered noodles smaller here.
Double Furb. Double Furbs are two-headed Furbies played by Jess and Steven. Head swap. When you take a short rest, you can choose a long rest move instead of a short rest and move and swap heads. That is awesome. We can be the other person.
And then the idea is that each of the heads has a +1 to an experience that is related to being either Jess or Steven, and then you switch between them when you roll with fear or when you take a rest.
Okay, so this is the Nightshades. This is the Urveth.
Uh-huh.
You can see how this came from buttered noodles.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
it's
totally.
similar. It's a little less
similar.
creepy than buttered noodles, but not by
No,
much.
it's definitely less creepy. Buttered noodles is... What are those arms? Did you attach those or did it come with those?
No, buttered noodles is not mine.
Oh, I thought it was
Buttered
yours.
noodles is a Tumblr famous long Furby.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And I am obsessed with her. She is my queen. I love buttered noodles.
Why?
Why not?
What do you mean, why?
He said, like, well, I can tell you why I like certain things. I'm just like, is it the expression? Is it her body? Is it the arms? Is it just her vibe?
I love her arms. They are exquisite. Her ears, majestic. Her like Farrah Fawcett blowout, magnificent.
I do like the tail.
Buttered noodles is so... There's more pictures of buttered noodles. If you like Google you can't just Google buttered noodles because you will just get pictures of buttered noodles. This happens to me every time I Google buttered noodles, and I forget that I have to search for Furby. Buttered noodles long Furby.
Right. That's why you never use a word like dark or I don't know,
poppy.
Yeah, like you're right. You can't use a word that everyone uses. It's like the biggest mistake. Or when you type in Pathfinder, you always get the Nissan Pathfinder or the movie Pathfinder. It's like, no, you got to type in Pathfinder 2E or Paizo Pathfinder.
Well, the story I've told before that's still my favorite Nissan Pathfinder story was that in one of the Pathfinder, the tabletop game groups...
Elsie wrote me back. Yeah.
She wrote you back. That's great. In one of the Pathfinder, the tabletop game groups, there was a guy who came on. He joined the group. He thought it was Nissan Pathfinder, and he started asking questions about buying a Nissan Pathfinder. And the tabletop people just they were like, this is a common mistake. It's easy. It's fine. But some of them were like, we do know about Nissan Pathfinder. So they helped him buy a Nissan Pathfinder. And he's like, you guys are great community. I'm just going to buy this Pathfinder game too, because everyone was so helpful. I just thought that was a nice feel-good story about a Nissan Pathfinder person who stumbled into a Pathfinder.
All right, so you guys get to see real-time collaboration. Is that Kelsey is literally working on the monster as we're speaking.
Wow, she was already doing it while you were typing. That is
no, not really. She forgot, and now she's going to do it because...
Oh, there you go.
She is on her way to Green Dragon Fest, and she's sitting in the airport not doing anything. I was like, ta-da, perfect timing. So hold on.
All right, so here's some more pictures of buttered noodles.
There you go. It's buttered noodles.
Yeah. I'm adding long Furbies to my Rifts game. yes.
People can add it to the Rifts game, but you could also add long Furbies to your Call of Cthulhu game.
Well, you can have long Furbies in every game. And I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about Furbies and long Furbies in games when Derek's first look queue finally gets to Furb House, which is a Furby role-playing game.
Oh yeah, right. Which you forced onto it.
Which one of his patrons generously gave me enough silver tickets that I could add it to the first look queue.
There we go. Yeah, people just give tickets, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Well, I might.
That's because his people, a lot of them subscribe and get the tickets so they can troll Derek, but they understand that they cannot troll Derek on their own as creatively or as well as Jess could. So the best way they can use their tickets to troll Derek is to just give them to Jess.
Mm-hmm. That's the best way. You guys are in. I'm having a nice long conversation with Kelsey. We're actually going through. She's doing a psychic mantis type creature, and
that's cool. That'll fit really well because we have almost everything, but we don't have a psychic mantis creature in
Skull
there.
Crusher, which is like a undead mechanical monstrosity of some sort. There we go.
Derek says in a super chat, it's a representational democracy of trolling him. Right? Because she was selected as the representative troll to represent that particular patron's interests of trolling.
Mm-hmm.
Mark T says that he would join the highest tier to give Jess tickets.
Yeah.
See, Derek should just create a specific tier that's like the Jess tier that just automatically gives its tickets to Jess.
Derek, make a new tier, call it the Jess support Jess tier. And if you
that way you don't have to do the transaction of them giving it to Jess every time.
To Jess. That's it.
Well, the bot in the Discord server handles the transaction.
Oh, fair enough. So that's easy enough either way. But the tier should, by the way, if the tiers are named like Warrior or things like that, it should be called Dandy. Right? If you have the Dandy tier where it's like, you gain these tickets, except they're all given to Jessica Redekop instead of you.
And for every person in the tier, I am sponsored to stay in the Discord server for another month.
Yeah, that's how it works. Then there would have to be like a council of people who were like continuing to summon Jess from the other realms into this world, and other people who may be like opposition who are like, if we can banish her from the Discord somehow.
That's right. It'll be like that season of Northern Reaches where people are working on opposed clocks.
That's right.
Derek desperately trying to ban me.
No, he's trying to ban him, trying to extort. We're like, hey, Derek, you're not here to defend yourself. You had other things to do.
Yeah,
but...
Derek is just saying this sounds like extortion.
Mm-hmm. But
you know what? The X makes it sound cool.
The Jess Troll Fund. That's what we'll call it. Or we'll call it the Troll Toll. I like those. Or call it Extort Derek.
That's my Futurama reference for the show.
There we go. We can make a cult of the long Furbies. Oh, that could be it. We can be like the Furby, the double Furb, and we could be the leaders of a cult and see like throughout the adventure we can try to convert the other players into our cult of Furby. I am actually watching the last 2 seasons of Stargate, and that's when they have the Ori, where they're like it's just a religious fanatical cult. And so we could do that. We could just constantly talk in Ori fanatical terms and drive everyone insane, including Derek. That's the best part. Gotta drive Derek insane. Otherwise, why bother? Unless it's driving Derek insane. So,
I've been getting my boyfriend to do a Animorphs book club with me, where we read the Animorphs. But I never did Animorphs as a child. I was not an Animorphs kid.
I never. So it was way too. I was way too old for
read
Animorphs.
The first Animorphs book on a flight recently, and my boyfriend is reading it, and he agreed to read the first Animorphs book, and then after every book we will reconvene and determine whether or not we are continuing to the second book, and then and so on and so forth until we get to like book 400 or whatever, because I don't know exactly how many Animorphs book there are, but I understand that it is I understand that it is there's a lot of them.
Did you see the Animorphs spoof on Saturday Night Live?
No.
Type in Animorphs Saturday Night Live. This was just on 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll do that later.
Where they it's like 3 minutes. It's very funny where they're playing Animorphs and then one of them sneezes. Actually, I think they fart. They sneeze and fart in the middle of their transformation and get stuck That's half Animorph, half human, and it does not go well. So
that's really one of the best parts of Animorphs is those covers, those absolutely wild covers with the mid transformation. 90s.
Hey, we can use Morph. Morph was now added to Photoshop, which it was. Yeah. And then let's use the Morph command in Photoshop to make a cover. And it looks cool for what? I guarantee that was literally, I already know how that meeting went. This is how the meeting went. Hey, let's put together a cover. Here's my concept of the cover. You see, they're going from animal to human. They're like, that looks good. Use that. They go, wait, no, that's just the concept. I whipped that up in Photoshop in like 10 minutes. So like, no, I like it. Use it. It does everything we needed to do. And
great. Like, we can make the covers for this in 10 minutes. Fantastic. Let's get another 50 books.
Right. And it's like, right. And then they're like, oh, this is a huge hit. We're stuck with this shitty cover for the next 10,000 years. It's like, God,
I love those covers so much. They're so silly.
That happens in the world of games and design. And it happens all the fucking time. It happens all the time, man. Yeah. It's like the Avatar logo. There, let's come up with an idea for the Avatar logo. All right, I wrote up this little logo. I did it in papyrus. Go with it. Done. I'm like, dude, it's the word Avatar in papyrus. No, that's the logo. No more needs to be done. Okay, you got it. $1 billion later. Oh my God, we're stuck with this shitty Avatar logo for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
I mean, that one they also made fun of. That's actually one of the top 10. They had the rankings of like the top 50 greatest skits of Saturday Night Live, and that's like always up there. Is the Ryan Reynolds papyrus logo? It's like papyrus. Like they used papyrus. It's for 5 minutes to make this logo for $1 billion franchise. All right. Oh, it's the temporary fixes become permanent discussion. Yeah, that's most of this world, by the way.
Yeah.
So, there's no AI discussion. There's actually no AI whatsoever.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the Animorphs covers, which are exquisite.
Animorphs. They have weird covers that are long before AI art made weird pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. This was back in the 90s. Sorry, back in the 80s and 90s. The first movie to ever use morphing. Okay, another 80s movie quiz time. I already did. What was the first thing? What was the first TV show that used Thurman? Okay, what was the first major motion picture to use morphing?
Was it like was it like The Wolfman?
That used digital morphing.
Oh, digital morphing.
Digital morphing.
I have a guess in mind.
Okay.
And I will give Chad an opportunity to.
Not Cat People. It's the one that it actually uses. Cat People uses a mixture of animatronics and digital effects. This is actual pure digital morphing that was all the rage in Hollywood. And if you remember the black and white video from, like, that was the top of the morphing, is that black and white by Michael Jackson, where they morph back and forth. Morphing was like everywhere.
Was it Willow?
Oh my God. Derek got it right. It is Willow.
Derek
that
also
is
said
correct.
Willow.
It is Willow. Willow uses morphing extensively in a scene where she's like going back and forth between animal shapes. And that is the first one. How about this?
It looks like there actually were ones before Willow.
Which was?
I looked it up after we all guessed Willow. The Golden Child had digital morphing from animal to human and back.
I guess you're right. There is
1986, 2 years before Willow.
I saw it. I saw Golden Child. That scene, I guess I would technically give it that, but it was beyond shitty and experimental. And I don't know if that's pure digital. I guess it might have been.
It said it was digital in the thing that I'm seeing. But
I didn't realize that we were thinking only of transforming into an animal like the animals.
No, it could be anything.
And the one that I had in mind. Yeah. The one that I had in mind was Terminator 2.
That was later.
Where the T-1000 was, yeah? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was
That's a very famous one. That is definitely digital morphing.
92, 93. Willow's
Yeah.
86.
Willow's 88.
Oh, sorry,
Golden Child.
88,
Golden
sorry,
Child is 86.
Yeah.
Supposedly, there's also Flight of the Navigator,
Yes.
where the spaceship morphed is 86.
Not really. That is done using. That doesn't count because you see, I don't think any of those count because they use a combination of digital and practical. I'm talking about pure digital.
Fair enough.
I'm talking about pure digital. Willow uses pure digital. Okay, what was the first movie? The first movie to use digital CGI.
Oh, that I don't know.
Use any digital CGI at all? I'm not sure.
As for a main character, pure digital CGI
We'll see if chat gets
as a character. This actually is very well known. And I remember I was in the theater watching it. I was like, holy shit, that is awesome. The first movie ever, not Last Starfighter. Last Starfighter used CGI is spaceship scenes, but this is considered the first official. I mean, Tron used some pure digital CGI, but this actually is for a major character using modern techniques. So it wasn't Lawnmower Man.
Wow.
It was actually
the
before
first CGI.
those.
I looked it up. The first CGI is way earlier than I thought it was.
Oh, someone's getting close. Someone was getting close.
What did they say?
It wasn't Tron because Tron was color. It was
Somebody said
it wasn't
Young
Tron.
Sherlock.
It wasn't lower. It is Young Sherlock Holmes. That is correct.
Sherlock is apparently the first fully CGI character. But
correct.
the first.
It is the glass-stained man who jumps out of the stained glass and it's two-dimensional. And it's completely done with CGI. And I remember seeing that
the first use of CGI was 12 years before that, which shocked me in Westworld. Yeah. In Westworld, but it wasn't a fully CGI character.
Well, that's the thing. Like Westworld, Tron, those are like sort of CGI. And even some of the things like in Tron, like, yes, they used renderscapes like for the light cycles, but those are not humanoids or characters. Those are scenes. And if you do scenes, it goes way back further. But the first official character was young Sherlock Holmes. So that's
good work,
movie,
Boyko. And
Lawnmower Man. Lawnmower was way after. I saw that. That was like 88, 89, around there.
And see, we had our 80s movies discussion, which people say they like second best after Stephen's stories of the classic RFC.
Hey, man,
capers.
I'm not looking this up. I'm doing this all from memory.
Yeah.
I'm bad with some things, but this is the one area that, like, I was sitting there when people can, like, when Derek starts quoting Lord of the Rings shit, and I have no idea how he can do that, but I can do that with 80s movies. I can quote every aspect of every 80s movie anytime.
People
anywhere.
have their passion, Stephen.
I know, it's my niche. I'm really good. But it's not just 80s movies, to be fair. It's actually all movies. Yeah, Master Control character from Tron, that is not a humanoid, so it's not considered the first character because you know why? It doesn't have a skeletal structure. If you look up the technicality, because once they figured out how to do skeletal structures, that started to open up the floodgates for them to do like literally Lawnmower Man and everything else, because they had to figure out how to do skeletal structures. Doing like flat CGI or character driven, like the light bikes or the spiders in Tron, things like that. That's not, really even considered. But even that stuff, having the skeletal structure, was able to do Toy Story and so forth. So anyhow, you can do a whole thing in this, but I'm not going to. Anyhow, I actually have to go. Believe it or not,
all right.
I am
well
seeing
done, everyone.
A talk.
Steven's got to go.
I'm seeing a talk tonight on Fauda, the TV show Fauda, or meeting. I don't know. Oh yeah, reboot. That was a fantastic first fully CGI cartoon. I loved Reboot.
That was a great cartoon.
That was a great cartoon. I loved Reboot.
So, until next time, everyone, if you want to battle the zoo, you have to roll for combat. Check out the Humble Bundle and have a good week, everyone.
See ya.